Sohinder Singh Gill is the CEO at Hero Electric and DG SMEV joining in on the show. Thanks so much for taking time out. Good to have you on board. Just wanted to get in your initial thoughts as to what the outlook is when it comes to the price hike post the subsidy cut for that OEMs have announced.
Thank you. We are talking of electric two-wheelers here, and electric two-wheelers are competing with petrol two-wheelers. And currently, before this subsidy reduction, the prices of electric two-wheelers were varying around 30% higher to 80% higher than the petrol two-wheeler. After the subsidy is reduced, if the prices are passed on, many two-wheelers will cost twice as much as petrol two-wheeler. So one can understand now that how many people would like to take a bet on electric two-wheelers as compared to an option of petrol two-wheelers that were there, very good quality, all the 40 years. So perhaps my personal belief is there's going to be a dip, a significant dip, unless companies hold on to the prices somehow and somehow manage the losses on account of that.
Difficult time as far as the the electric two-wheelers are concerned. But Mr. Gill, as to your own expectation, are you expecting some sort of rollback from the government or any other policy intervention that could help negate the impact of lack of subsidy?
Not in the short run, because the government is hard-pressed for funding. And the budget was there, the budget was allocated, the budget was over, and they have got additional money also funneled in, but still it is not enough to support the subsidy that was announced 4 years back. So there's no more money available, at least for FAME 2, which is going to run till end of this current financial year. And absolutely there's going to be no intervention of any sort financially to the customer directly, because these are direct customer subsidies, to reduce his price of adoption. What may come later in the next financial year is some sort of an indirect support, which is obviously another thing which is very much required, whether it is infrastructure support in terms of charging or otherwise skill building, or PLI support to some of the companies to have incentives linked to production. Those are the indirect things. But I think the customer subsidy, once they are tapered, they can't be brought back. They may continue to be at that level from next financial year in the new FAME 3.
If you could give us a sense as to what was the sales momentum of the entire electric two-wheeler industry, let's say in the year gone by, and when you say we can expect a sharp dip, what could that number fall down to in the coming year?
At such a low volume, one has to compare not year on year, one has to compare to the targets the country set for itself or the organization set for themselves. Niti Aayog had declared a target, many private organizations had declared a target of, for example, 1.2 million last year, at least two-wheelers who should be on the road, to be on the exponential path that we had thought for ourselves. Against 1.2 million in the last financial year as a target of Niti Aayog, the industry did only 725,000. So in percentage term, it's a huge shortfall and it is nowhere near the sort of a trajectory of growth. This year, the target of Niti Aayog and many others was 2.3 million or above. So while the industry may clock more than the last year, more than 725,000, maybe industry will do 1.2 million, but it will be 50% of the so-called trajectory that we should have at 2.3 million, which means the trajectory has been just snubbed to what it should have been. Because mind you, we are all aiming for a complete transformation from petrol or a dirty fuel to electric in 7-8 years. And in a short to mid-term, we are thinking of a 30% conversion of petrol to electric. And 30% of 1.6 million is 5 million. So in another 2 years, industry is expected to do 5 million. I think that will be a difficult task, given the support that has been withdrawn, suddenly and sharply.
But you did point out to the fact that the companies will have to take price hikes. The likes of Ether, Ola have already announced price hikes to the tune of 15 to 30,000. What about Hero Electric? Are you looking at some sort of price hikes, or are you going to absorb that and that is probably something going to impact your profitability?
See, I have already announced the first one to say I'm not going to increase the prices, at least for the time being, till the time I sustain, because I can't be giving, I'm there in the market for 15 years now. And there are so many headwinds we have faced all along. Suddenly, policies going adversely or favorably. So you can't change your business strategies and customer adoption, customer profiling with these type of things that happen suddenly because of policy interventions. So I announced 3 days back that we will not increase the prices. We'll try and sustain it because the motive today is not to make money here. We have been making losses all 15 years. The motive is to increase the category, increase the presence, increase the adoption. And a sudden U-turn will be very adverse for the country and adverse for the sort of industry also. So we believe some of the guys who have even done the price increases have not passed on entirely whatever the losses were. They have also tried to reduce the loss due to subsidy reduction, and midway they have increased the prices. So perhaps there is going to be middle path. The demand will come down, but may not fall very sharply if companies decide not to increase prices or to reduce, slightly reduce the increases.
Mr. Gill, but it doesn't sound like a very sustainable model, right? Yes, you've been running losses, but at some point, the point of view is to generate profits, right? So, A, could you highlight to us what could be the long-term strategy then of the industry? And secondly, what's the price differential right now of Hero products versus the other in the market?
Well, my prices today, the most popular product I'm selling today from now onwards, from 1st of is going to be 1,30,000. So that is the price of the model, which is around 60% of the volume. The market is moving, I think, from 1.45 lakhs to 200,000, 2 lakh. That's the price band I'm seeing people emerging as far as the bikes generally are concerned. So there is a spectrum of prices from maybe 1.2 lakhs to 2 lakhs you will see unfolding in some time from now. As far as losses and profits are concerned, it's not a question of how many years you will make losses. It's how much losses you will contain to be able to continue. And the trick here is to do the product which is value for money, not really add too much of features, gizmos to make it outrightly outpriced. Also reduce your overheads and not waste your money in a lot of marketing expenses or a lot of frills and fancies. So we have been adopting a sort of a frugal model, even organizationally and network. And I'm happy to say that my network in the last 10 years is with me, and many of them are broken even or making money out of it. I'm going to be EBITDA positive towards the end of the year, this year, even with this type of a price absorption that I have done. So one has to see the business models of where do you want your organization strategically. Is it a passion that you are following, or a pure financial price play that you are doing, or a financial model that you are following?
Sure, Mr. Gill, thank you so much for joining us. So at least we'll be EBITDA positive by the end of the year, and right now not increasing prices because the idea is to expand the market. Thank you, Mr. Gill, for joining us and talking to us about how the industry thematics are panning out at this point of time.